Hi, I'm Pamela Fox. I work for khanacademy.org, which is a nonprofit with online education, and I teach computer programming for it.
You've already talking about this online teaching programming in your speech today here at Codemotion. Could you please develop this talk? What have you talking about?
So for the talk today, I talked about what Khan Academy is and our tech stack, how we're translated into all these different languages, including Spanish, and then I just talked about how it is that we teach programming in the browser, because it's kind of hard. It's actually really hard to do from a technical perspective. So because we have this editing environment with this like real-time code editor here, and then this output here, and as you type here, it changes here, and we've got like these little number scrubbers and a color picker, and everything changes in real time. And it means that when you're learning to program, you can see immediately what's happening, and you can fail faster so that you can learn more quickly, because that's part of programming, is getting things wrong. So we have that environment. We also have the way that people practice and get assessed. So coding challenges, which is like step by step. Like, okay, try to do this. All right, now try to do that. Okay, now try to do this. And trying to help people when they're learning new concepts like for loops and if conditions and all that stuff. And then also talking about the community. And the community is my favorite part, because I wake up in the morning and get to see what they've made, because we have this hot list of programs. So it's basically Reddit for programs, and we use the Reddit algorithms for our hot list to see what's been voted up that day. And the community just makes all these really cool things, and they share with each other, and they learn from each other. And that's a really fun part of the online experience too.
How many people are currently using Code Academy, more or less?
So on Khan Academy, millions. It's a lot. So that's for all of Khan Academy. Specifically for programming, it's less, just because programming is not a topic that everybody has to learn.
Yeah.
It's people are learning it for fun on the side. Most of our users on Khan Academy are for math, because everybody has to learn math. But we're trying to make it so that everybody also has to learn programming, because I think a lot of us think that programming is going to be kind of an essential skill in the future, along with reading and writing. It's just part of the general literacy. So hopefully that'll get more people on it. But yeah, so less in there, but we have the Hour of Code coming up, which is December 8th through 12th. And when that happens, we get about 1 million people coming in and learning to program that week. So we see a big bump in our traffic that week, and that's great, because it's an opportunity to introduce coding to millions of students in the world, which is really cool.
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually using Code Academy, and as a user, I can see. I'd like to know any advice you could give me. I mean, I'm starting from zero, absolutely zero. So any advice, any question users usually ask you, could you please help me where to?
Yeah, so if you're getting started, a few things. One thing I like to emphasize is that you shouldn't expect it to be easy. It's not actually easy. And some people say, oh, coding's easy, you should learn it. That's not why you should learn it. You should learn it because there's a lot of resources to help you learn it, and because it's really valuable to learn, and because it's really fun and powerful, like very empowering once you can make stuff. Like it becomes an addiction. We're like, oh, I can make this, and I can make that, But it's not easy. So when you get frustrated and you want to bang your head against something, I do that all the time still, right? I still cry when I can't get something to work and I'm getting really frustrated and it's hours, because it can be hard. So don't worry if it doesn't just come to you, right? It's going to take time. The other thing is, there's a lot of different ways of learning online now, which is great, because you can try one way. If you don't love it, you could try another way. So, we've got, there's what I teach on Khan Academy, but then there's also, there's Coursera, there's Code Academy, there's tons of different resources out there for learning. So that's cool, because as a learner, You could try one. If you don't like it, you could try another one. You get to pick your education buffet, whatever works for you.
That's true.
And so, and remember that there's also different types of programming. So you might not love Python, but maybe you'll love JavaScript, or you might not love making games, but maybe you love making web pages.
Yeah.
So if you try one and you don't love it, don't assume that you don't like programming. Try another one too. And maybe in the end you don't like it, but just keep in mind, because there's some parts of programming that I don't like, but I've done enough kinds that I've figured out what I like and don't like. And luckily, I was introduced to a way of programming when I was young that I really liked, and so I was like, okay, I know that there's something I really love about programming. And when I did other types of programming I didn't like as much, it was okay, because in the back of my head, I remembered there's that
There's
thing.
another one.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Keep your options open.
Mm-hmm. So you're giving a talk in a few hours with a few women, like Sarah Sudam, for instance, about women in tech. What would you ask her?
So for her, she's from Lebanon, and I'd be very curious about how being from Lebanon and her particular culture has affected being a woman in tech. Because for me personally, it's actually been pretty easy. I've been very fortunate. I was born to two computer scientists. They were incredibly supportive of me, going into computer science. But I know that that's not the case for many women, especially depending on family and cultural values. So I would, ask her how has that affected her experience?
Okay, we'll ask her. Thank you for your time here. Very, very pleased to have you here today, Pamela. Thank you.
Thank you.